And the one thing that stood out to me in that one was Michael Fraser-Milne at the end almost. He said, when people come into our shop, they ask us for a New Zealand whiskey. They don't actually mean a single malt. They don't necessarily mean a single malt. They don't put New Zealand whiskey and single malt together. He was interested to see what else might come out of it. And
Yes.
that absolutely, that was like the whole forum for me. It's the only thing I've ever thought about since then, to be
That
honest.
was because even though blended Scotch whiskey outsells Scotch single malt by a ridiculous number, when somebody starts talking about Scotch whiskey, I would argue that more often than not, they are talking about single malt. And even though the terms are not synonymous, I would argue that in many people's heads they are. So yes, to hear that when they come in, and they're not saying, give me a New Zealand single malt, they're saying, I'm interested in New Zealand whiskey, and not necessarily meaning single malt.
Yeah, it's a distinction, which I didn't realize was
Very
being
subtle,
made.
but
Very
yeah.
subtle, but yeah, for that to be noticed by him, the owner of Whiskey Galore, that's must be happening more than once,
For sure.
Yeah.